guys, it's Inspirational Nails. So I am here to do a DIY, and I love DIYs. I think when you can create something and come up with something that either is going to be cost effective or come up with something that you really haven't seen before is just a lot of fun, especially, you know, to put it out there and share. So I want to show you guys how to make a textured stamper. And I haven't seen this. I haven't seen a textured stamper or someone actually do a textured stamper. And I think it does, the effect that it gives is a little bit different than just using a makeup sponge, because it has, by putting all these little wedge and grooves and, you know, de-stressing it, basically, I'm sorry, here we go. So it gives just so much, it's almost like a sponged stamper, basically. That's pretty much exactly what it is, but it is a stamper, as you see. And this is actually the Cece and Ceci, hope I'm saying it right, stamper. It looks like this when you get it. This came with the plates. And what I did was I pretty much distressed it. And by distressing it, all I did was pretty much take a tweezer, okay, and it does have to be a sharp tweezer, or you can find something else that you can distress it with. You can use all different types of stuff. If you want to use a nail, you could use pliers. I mean, you can use all different types of things. Anything that you can get the stamper to distress. Now, I will say you need to use one of the more squishier stampers. At least I think it would be a better outcome. You can try to use more of the firmer. I just don't know how well you'll be able to really kind of pull apart the rubber, but you can. This one's also another one, but it's also firm. I basically decided to do it on this one here to give texture and kind of try it on an actual stamper. And I love it because you can take the polish, and whether you dab this into the polish or you put the polish on the stamper, and you know, you do have to, you know, dab it before you really stamp it on your nail so you can get that distressed look that you're looking for. Because what happens is when you start making big holes, you know, what's going to end up happening is the polish is going to sink into there. So when you start damping, you don't want to get those clumps. You know, you want to get a more really good distressed look. Okay, and that's what I've done here, if you can see that. And I think by doing this type of distress on a stamper, it gives you the ability to have where you can have more open space from your base versus just sponging on a solid stamper, okay? Which I have seen a lot of ladies do, where it's just the stamper just like this, and you actually are dabbing it into colors and, you know, stamping it on the nail. I think by distressing the stamper, it gives it just an added distressed look. And I thought it would just be fun to try something different. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I did that on these two nails here that are just white. And this white I used is the Sinful Colors with Gel Tech. And I'm sorry, it's dirty. For some reason, it just gets dirty. And this one is Wisp. This is a really good white. If you're looking for a good white, it definitely is, it self-levels really well. So if you're not the best of a nail painter, like, you know, painting your nails, you know, this definitely really hides a lot of flaws. You know, if you're unable to really paint your nails well, it definitely self-levels really well. So when you're doing something like this, when I put this on, because I'm going to cover it up anyways, I don't look for perfection, because you know, you're going to cover it up anyways. I do want it even so that, you know, what I'm trying to achieve really does go well on the nail. So that's something that you do want. Okay, so that's the white that I used on all my nails. Okay, the two polishes that I used is this one by Clean Colors, and this one is called Mango. And I used this one here by Nicole by OPI, and this one is called Please Red Cycle. Oh, come on. Please Red Cycle. And it's not really, it's a very more pink red. It's very pink red. And that's the two colors that created this, and it looks beautiful. The color combination came out amazing. Now the stamper, of course, as you see, I stamped on top of it. I used one of my Dashika plates, okay, and I'm just going to back up. This is one of Dashika's beautiful plates. This is number 64, and this is pretty much the flower that I was working with. Okay, and that's the what I've been using on my nails. Okay, now what I'm going to show you is I'm going to open up my polishes here, and you can, you know, dab the colors, whether it's on paper or you can use a card. I mean, anywhere where you can pretty much dab paint. These are really great to dab your paints on, you know, some type of plastic, only because you can keep the polishes still wet enough that you can use it more than once, you know, versus putting it on paper. It will dry more quick, so you have to keep using more paint. So that's the only real, you know, it is a benefit to use some type of plastic so that you can keep reusing as much as the polish as you can when you actually dab it on. Okay, so here is my distressed stamper, and all I did in order to create this is pretty much take my tweezers and pretty much poke until I got a look that I wanted. Okay, and now you could see that there is a lot of different holes in there. Okay, and I just kept poking at it until I distressed it to the way I want. Now, one of the things that you will have to do is all the little pieces that you pull out of it, you're going to have to keep cleaning it and keep cleaning it until all those little hairs come out. And you want to, you know, kind of push it apart so that you can really get inside and clean it all, so that you get all those little pieces out. Okay, so I mean, you'll still have pieces here and there, as you could see. Okay, but of course, you know, you take your lint roller and you clean it, and pretty much that's it. In order to clean this, okay, I actually dip it in acetone. Like this, it doesn't bother me to dip it in acetone, because I have plenty of stampers. And this one I actually distressed because I wanted to. And in order to clean it, you do have to soak it into acetone. I soak it on the top of my acetone bottle. I literally just sit it right on top. And once I see that all the color has pretty much bleeded out of the crevices, I kind of just pull it out and clean it on a towel. And then, you know, pat it on my lint roller. And that's it, okay? It may not come out perfect. You might still have residue. But for me, it's not a big deal, okay? Because as long as the paint, the nail polish doesn't clump up and it doesn't get where you lose the distress, because that's the whole purpose of making these holes and doing this to the stamper, is to distress it. Okay, so you have that. And I'm really trying to get a closer look, but I don't think it's auto-focusing well, and I apologize for that. Okay, there we go. So you see that? I'm hoping that this translates, because I want you to really see how distressed I've made it. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how it works on my nail. Okay, so I'm just going to take my polishes and, you know, just dab that color. And there's no rhyme or reason, you know, just dab wherever. Okay. And then you're going to take your stamper and you're just going to blotch. You want to make sure you really get both of those colors, or how many colors you're using. And there it is, okay? And now you're just going to go in and blot. And you see how it gives a sponging effect? And you could still see the white, you know, as long as you don't keep dabbing the color so much, you will be getting the background color. And as long as if you really don't want to cover it up, then just, you know, make sure that you leave whatever you want and just stop wherever you see fit. And that's pretty much it. And I'm just gonna go ahead and, as you see, these two nail polishes, they dry really quickly. So as you see, I couldn't even do my other nail. So again, you just, again, dab that color, dab the other color, okay, and then again, dab into it, and see that? And then there I go. I'm gonna just distress. And if you feel that, you know, you've put too much of one color, you can go in with white and just dab on top of it if that's, you know, if you feel that you got too much of that base color. I actually like it. I don't want all my nails to look the same. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let it really dry before I stamp over it. Okay, so now that I've let those dry, I'm going to go ahead and go in with the stamping. And again, this is the area that I'm focused on, is this flower right here. Okay, and I'm just going to take my black, because that's the color I want to use. And I'm just going to... Okay, I'm going to use this stamper here. And there it is, okay, and I'm just going to roll it on there, okay, and I'm just going to push down any polish that's sticking up from the stamper, okay, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp again. Okay, I didn't get all of it, so I'm just gonna have to clean it. Sometimes I can get away with stamping twice, but in this case I didn't. Okay, and there it is. That's enough for my nail there. Okay, and again. Okay, now I'm going to just clean up and I'll be right back. Okay, so now that I'm back, I did clean up around my nails. And to give it that finished look that I'm looking for, as you see the other nails, these two here, they look different than these two, is because they have a matte coat on it. And that is the end look that I really wanted. So what I used on top is by China Glaze, and it's the Matte Magic. And I really like this one here. Matte, you can make your own matte polish. It is really very easy. Basically is just baking soda. But I do like this one here. It works really well. It lasts pretty long. I've used some other ones and they just don't, you know, they chip very quickly after a little bit. This one seems to last pretty long. Without, you know, actually chipping. So I really like the way this came out, and I hope you guys like this. I hope you found this as an interesting DIY, and I hope you try it. And if you do, please let me know. Please comment, subscribe if this is your first time watching my channel, and please give it a thumbs up. And until next one, bye guys!